What allows a baseball player to become truly legendary? Is it lightning-quick bat speed, blazing fastball velocity, defensive skills, or pinpoint control? While all those attributes help, the greatest of all time combines several elite tools. Welcome back to Batflix. Today we will unveil the game's most devastating players, the 7 who left a trail of broken records, dazzled fans, and frustrated pitchers in their wake. Number 7. Ty Cobb. While Stan Musial was baseball royalty, Ty Cobb was the evil troll, a notorious racist. Cobb sharpened his spikes to injure opponents and once fought a fan in the stands. Despite ugly behavior, his on-field talent was supreme, owning the best lifetime batting average ever at .366. The volatility carried onto the field, where he played with manic intensity. Cobb led the AL in hitting an absurd 12 times over 24 seasons with Detroit, and he paired average with power, also leading the league in slugging percentage 8 times. Cobb's numbers live alongside legends of any era. He batted over 403 times with a high of 420. When he retired in 1928 after 24 scorching years, Cobb was the all-time leader in hits, runs scored, and stolen bases. While his character severely taints his legacy, the statistics remind what a force he was in the deadball ERA. Ruth and Williams may have surpassed Cobb's once unfathomable records decades later, but through his tirades and dirty play, the Georgia Peach brought a fiery style that changed baseball forever, for better and often for worse. Raw obsession born on a diamond. Number 6. Walter Johnson. The Big Train established the blueprint for pitching greatness over 21 legendary seasons. The flamethrower defined Washington Senators baseball, leading the AL in strikeouts 12 times with his blazing fastball. Johnson's numbers live alongside legends of any era. He authored 110 career shutouts, a record that will never be touched. In 1913, he delivered an unreal 36-win campaign with 36 complete games, 1.14 ERA, and 0.78 WHIP. An all-time season rewarded with an early MVP, Johnson capped his Cooperstown career by finally leading the Senators to a 1924 World Series title. When Johnson retired, his 3,509 strikeouts were MLB's career pinnacle for 56 years. With 417 wins still only behind Cy Young, the Big Train powered Washington for over 2 decades, almost single-handedly. Despite relatively little fame today, Walter Johnson built a strong case as the AL's greatest pitcher ever through raw, sustained, extraordinary dominance. Number 5. Hank Aaron. Hank Aaron reigned as baseball's home run king for 33 years, but his 755 career blasts only hint at his all-around excellence. While known for legendary power, Hammerin' Hank also hit 305 lifetime with a record 2,297 RBIs and 6,856 total bases. A model of consistency, Aaron was a 21-time All-Star who topped 30 home runs an astonishing 15 seasons. He wrapped his 1976 retirement owning nearly every coveted hitting record. Beyond homers, Aaron also ranked second all-time in hits and runs scored, cementing his standing among well-rounded elite talents across eras. 3 Gold Gloves also speak to his defensive prowess patrolling the outfield while his bat demolished opposing pitching. Arguably the game's greatest RBI producer and most feared slugger of his generation, Hank Aaron's sweet swing produced video game statistics for over 2 decades. The home run crown now belongs to Barry Bonds, but Hammerin' Hank remains royalty. Number 4. Ted Williams. The splendid splinter earned notoriety as perhaps the greatest pure hitter ever. His 482 lifetime OBP stands tall even today, while career marks for runs, home runs, RBIs, and walks amaze considering nearly 5 seasons lost to military service. Williams awed with uncanny batting eye and consistency. The Boston icon last hit 400 in 1941, often leading AL in average, slugging, and OBP during 19 seasons torturing pitchers. Beyond just hits, he crafted artful at-bats. Not content as just an all-time batter, Williams was also whispered to be baseball's best fisherman and fighter pilot in lore, though his prickly public persona complicated fame. As author John Updike noted after Williams refused a curtain call for his iconic final home run, "Gods do not answer letters." In Williams, brilliance and eccentricity intertwined. Perfectionist to a fault, he chased higher callings once his Red Sox tenure ended, but But with a peerless approach and generational command of the strike zone, Teddy Ballgame's bat built the model for greatness to come. Craft once deemed unmatchable. Number 3, Barry Bonds. Baseball's most notorious villain, Bonds provokes endless debate. Reviled as the face of MLB's steroid ERA, yet he was a Cooperstown lock pre-allegations, and no drug boosts hand-eye feats like a record 2,558 walks and 444 OBP. So how much did steroids actually enhance peak Bonds? Impossible to quantify. Rather than relitigate PEDs, appreciate the video game stats. Before allegedly bulking up, Bonds' initial Pirate stint saw 3 MVPs and 400 homers anyway. What came next entered uncharted territory. From his age 36 season on, Barry abruptly broke career marks for homers, 762, intentional walks, 688, and WAR, smashing McGuire's supersized season record with an absurd 73 blasts in 2001, beloved Willie Mays' godson erasing memories of chummy moments atop Candlestick dugouts. An individual difficult to root for between surly attitude and tainted achievements. But in terms of pure peak production, Bonds stands alone, no player controlled an at-bat like him, and savant blessed with opposite field power and pitcher demoralizing patience at the plate. Debate legitimacy, but when dialed in, Barry was virtually unpitchable, sans pharmaceutical help or otherwise. Number 2, Willie Mays. Unlike godson Barry Bonds, Willie Mays prompts no debates. He simply delivered breathtaking all-around brilliance. At the plate, Mays authored 3,283 hits, 660 homers, and 1,903 RBIs in 22 seasons. Meanwhile, earning 12 straight Gold Gloves roaming center field for the Giants. That peerless glove brought Mays' most iconic highlight, a running over-the-shoulder catch to seal a 1954 World Series game. The catch capturing a generational talent and catapulting underdog New York toward an unlikely championship. Despite just one title, Mays garnered numerous accolades, 20 All-Star appearances, 2 MVPs, 1954 to 1965, widespread calls as the best five-tool player ever. His graceful athleticism and easy power at the Polo Grounds inviting awe from fans and fellow greats alike. Number 1, Babe Ruth. Baseball boasts a deep lineage of icons, but none tower like the Babe. He arrived as a pitching and hitting prodigy, departing as a slugging supernova who popularized power hitting and made baseball America's pastime. When Ruth debuted in 1914, baseball remained in its dead ball era. The season home run record was 27. Ruth promptly erupted to obliterate expectations, hitting 54 by 1920, then an absurd 60 in 1927. He led the AL in homers 12 times, introducing a brazen-style worlds removed from cunning pitchers dominating constricted offenses. Ruth slugged 690 for his career, still the all-time pinnacle by a wide margin. But not just a one-dimensional masher, he also twirled brilliant years on the mound before becoming too valuable at the plate. In the 1921 season, Babe led the AL with a 1.75 ERA while bashing 59 homers. He even tossed 29 consecutive World Series scoreless innings. Because Ruth wasn't just great, he was Ruthian. Equally important was Ruth's impact on baseball's popularity. His outsized persona catapulted the sport alongside icons like Dempsey and Tunistra. As the Yankees captured headlines in the golden age of sports behind the Babe's otherworldly feats, the national pastime boomed. And that wraps up our list of the 7 greatest baseball players of all time. So, what current MLB star has the potential to one day join the ranks of these icons? Let me know in the comments section. I hope you enjoyed this breakdown of the legends who mastered record-shattering excellence along with an iconic flair. If you want to see more all-time great baseball content, be sure to smash that like button and subscribe to Batflix.